next guest. Yes, right. And hello to those of you that have never been in this room before. Nice to have you. I'm Bram. I play Chuck on the show. I don't know. All right.
That's perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the hero. He's just one of the boys. Give it up for Mr. Jensen, Ackles! We're back! We're back!
Oh, it's good to see your smiling faces in my mind. Your smiling eyes.
Pretty good stuff, huh?
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
This is, I gotta be, like, I'm a little nervous right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay, it's been a while.
It has been a while. A little rusty. What was that? They're like, just pour some WD-40 on it, you're fine. Yeah, this is great. Well, thank you guys for being here and for dancing a little with us and coming Saturdays. So I know I was supposed to do tomorrow, usually Sunday, but I don't know, they just keep working me.
It's good. It's not a bad thing. All right, I'm gonna get out of your hair.
All right, go do your thing.
Anyway, be good to him, Denver.
Rob Benedict, ladies and gentlemen. Roba bene. Yes, it's this feels really good. It's been since who was there in Vegas at the last one? Okay. Yeah, and then it all hit the fan. And how long ago was that? That was March?
March of 2020.
19 months? 19 months, over a year and a half. I mean, that's just enough time to watch the whole series of Supernatural. He's like, I did that, thank you. Didn't even know who you were 20 months ago. That's so cool. Yeah, but like I was saying, I thought I would have some time to hang and you know, chill after the show was over, and that's not happened. So much has happened. We've got so much to talk about. The show ended, the finale. And at 1:15, the mood turned cold. Yeah, there's just a lot to unpack here. What?
Love you!
Was that an F-U? Really upset about the finale. Somebody had a little piece of rebar earlier, and I'm like, okay. All right. Do you go see Superman with a little thing of kryptonite in your pocket? Like, that's... rebar. I mean, it had to be something, right? I will say that the actor, stunt guy that was responsible for placing me on that little piece of rebar, he was the biggest stunt guy I've ever worked with. I don't know if you could tell from that sequence, but I mean, at a certain point, I think he just picked up Jared like a rag doll. he picked me up, like it was like nothing, like I was his little toddler. And he's ex-military. I forget where he served. I know he did. I know he definitely was in the mix. Because why wouldn't you put a colossal human being like that on the front line? His hands were like the size of baseball gloves, and there you go. Yeah, this guy was legit. And I remember like talking to him, and he was very much. I was like, "Hey man, I'm Jensen." He's like, "Yes sir." I'm like, "It's good to have you." He's like, "Thank you, sir." I was like, "What's your name?" "Heidi." "Did you say Heidi?" "Yes, sir." "It's a great name. That's solid name. Cool, okay." Now, normally, I would have gone on a 5-minute banter about the guy's name and Heidi, but no. Not with this one. That was, he was a very wonderful person, and I was like, "Do you feel a little bad that it's you that's putting this character down?" And he was like, "No, sir." "Not even, no, sir. Just doing my job, sir." "I like you. I like you a lot." So yeah, so that happened. Boom. And that was like, I remember reading that script. It was like page 20, and I was like, hang on. Yeah, it happened awfully quick. Were you guys surprised that it happened that quickly or that soon? Yeah. I was like, well, there's gonna be a lot of angry people by the second commercial break. Oh my gosh. What else? Well, I don't know. I'm sure you guys have questions. We should get to that. It's been 19 months. Let's just do that because I'll talk forever. Because it's just me. And I don't have my brother here. He's coming. He's on his way. And he's got you guys got him tomorrow. So that's why they kind of split us up. They're like, if I could have been here tomorrow, I would, but we're shooting on the weekends. In fact, this film is actually filming right now. They were able to schedule me off. I was like, it's gotta either be Sunday. I tried to get it Sunday, but they were like, we can do it Saturday. And I was like, oh, okay. But our work weeks are Wednesday through Sunday, which there's a variety of reasons why. But anyway, you got me today. And then you'll have to, put up with the big guy tomorrow. So, let's start over here.
Hi. Oh,
Hi.
I'm so nervous. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Did you say I don't know what to do with my hands?
Yeah, I don't know.
Join the club.
That's the girl right there. So I just love Dean so much, and you, and you're amazing. And I'm really, really excited for the boys because I love that show so much. And you're going to be amazing. And congratulations on your new movie role. Dean being such a long part of your life, is there any parts where you go into these new auditions and like when you go into the boys in your new movie role that there's this piece of Dean that you're carrying with you into these new characters? Or do you kind of like, oh God, Dean, I gotta let you go. Gotta let you go.
I mean, look, yes, you're right. Dean was and is and will continue to be a massive part of my life, and there was a lot that I identified with Dean, and so it's probably going to be difficult to completely shed any other character of Dean. I think you'll probably see nuances and little things in there, but that's just me, and that's what I brought to Dean. So I will say that it was difficult not to do the Dean voice. And it was a couple of notes that came down from Kripke. He was like, okay, man, you're doing a great job. Just be careful you don't slip into Dean. Like, I can't help it, man. It's 15 years of my life. So it's interesting. I had to kind of find another voice for Soldier Boy, and it kind of it kind of turned into like, I don't know, it's almost like a radio voice. It's like, I'm Soldier Boy. And I'm a superhero. So yeah, I don't think he sounds a whole lot like Dean. But then while I was up in Toronto filming The Boys, I also did another Batman movie. So now I'm like going into a recording studio, trying to find like the Batman, while trying not to do Dean, and now trying not to do this new Soldier Boy. It's like, I'm Batman. So it was, yeah. They don't teach you these things, you know, it's just, this is like, I don't know, you just gotta learn on the run. But yeah, Dean's always gonna be there. And I was sharing earlier, like, I haven't mourned the show. I haven't mourned Dean being gone. I haven't, because he's not. I mean, here we are a year later after the show's ended, and we're all here to talk about the show. And so I think it's going to be around for a long, long time, in some capacity. And who knows? Maybe we even like do one of those reunion things and come back, or do a movie, or I don't know. Maybe we just take like 3 years off and come back and start all over again. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, thank you. Mm-hmm. Hey.
Hi. I'm holding a notebook. I still don't know what to do with my hands. Okay, I'm going to read this because I'm terrified. How much of a backstory do you make for any of your new characters? Even if there is an outline of a backstory, how deep do you take that? Do you like go, well, when he was 14, he blah, 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 or do you even do that?
It's a good question. I know that is a technique that is used by trained actors. I'm not one of those. I was a learning on the job kind of a guy. So I wasn't taught techniques like that on how to break down characters and how to build backstory and how to do all that kind of stuff. So fortunately, the characters that I've been able to play have a good amount of backstory built into the script, so I can just lean on that and maybe open that up a little bit. But I think probably for characters that aren't overly explained in the script, that might be helpful to an actor to kind of just have an idea of where they're coming from, where they're going, so that they can play those small moments a little better. But like I said, I haven't really had to do that, because the scripts have been really informative about these characters that I'm playing. I mean, even this film that I'm doing right now, you know, it's a Western, and like an old school late 1800s full on Western, right? And I play a U.S. Marshal and who is tasked to track down this fugitive. And so normally that would be it. That's all you get. But in this script, there's a whole backstory with this guy. And, you know, he's got a situation at home that adds to the complexity of the character. He's got an odd way of doing things on the job that adds to the complexity. He has emotional struggles throughout the movie. So a lot of it's right there on the page. So I didn't have to do a deep dive into, oh, who is this guy? A lot of it was right there. And also with the boys, you know, that character was pretty well explained to me before I even showed up day one. which some of you heard the day one story in here. And if there was ever hazing, it was done by the producers and writers of The Boys. Not the cast. They were super pro, and so was the crew, but there I was in all my glory, day one. I'll let you figure that out. Welcome to Streamers, where anything goes.
And everything went.
And everything. But that character had a lot of really good backstory to him as well, so I was able to just kind of read it and get it up on its feet and go. But yeah, like I said, that is a really good thing to do if it's not explained in the script, is to kind of create that or work with the director and help come up with something that makes sense. Thank you. Hi.
Hello, my name is Amy Engelbrecht, and I actually just got into Supernatural over the pandemic, and I don't know, that's all I did, and you kind of kept me sane. My question is, what did you do with your wife and kids when you got back from shooting The Boys?
What did I do with my wife and kids when I got back? Well, some of you may know I was because of the COVID protocol in Canada, which is where The Boys was shot in Toronto, not Vancouver. So I got another great Canadian city under my belt. But because anybody coming into the country was required to quarantine for 14 days, I couldn't go home. And you know, I'd have 5 to 10 days off at a time, and I'd just be sitting in, you know, a rental place. And the city was closed too. The restaurants were closed, the bars were closed, the gyms were closed, the coffee shops, everything was closed. There was nothing to do anyway. So, you know, I was talking about this with Rob, and he was like, "Did you just go crazy?" And I was like, "No, I don't know. I just kind of kept my head down. I was like, just do some work, get some work done, you know." But what that did is that it prohibited me from seeing my family for, it was 4 months. Thank God for FaceTime, because that happened daily. But still, I was watching them change on an iPad, and I wasn't there to, you know, to hold them, and it was tough. It was sad, but I'll tell you a little silver lining to this story. So I have 2 girls and a boy. The 2 girls are daddy's girls. Like they are just all over me. They love them some daddy, and easy now. These are my kids. You know, JJ is 8. She's in 3rd grade now. Arrow is 4.5. She's going on 5. She's going on 15. She's going to be the death of me for sure. But there's a really good communication. And with Zeppelin, he is a mama's boy. And even if he like falls and like cracks his head on something, then I'm right there and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you know, is Zeppy okay?" And he just like straight to mom, like doesn't need dad yet. And I'm like, that's cool, I respect that. I was gone for 4 months. I came back home. He never left my side. He had to sit next to me at dinner. He held my hand everywhere we went. All he wanted to do was play trucks and trains with his dad. So the you know, absence made the heart grow fonder, and I was definitely a benefit of that. So that was that's what we did. Is I just hunkered down and just buried myself in children for about 5 days, and then I had to go back to work for another like 4 weeks, and then I came home. Then I was done. So, yeah. Hey.
Hi. First of all, I'm wearing your dead man's robe.
I'm so sorry.
And I would like you to do a little dance for me. How about that? My question is, will you do a little dance for me?
This musical interlude brought to you by Soldier Boy. And that's how TikTok dances are born. Just don't start playing that Applebee's song and we're good. Like half you are like, what? Applebee's song? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Don't act like you don't know that song.
No. And I don't want to.
No. I don't know it. It's just the one word I know. Don't start playing it. Okay, oh, stop it. Stop it. Yeah, we bougie like Applebee's on a date night. But the breakfast and the steak and the Oreo shake is on whipped cream on the top two stalls, one shake. Girl, I gives you like Eddie in the styrofoam. Squeeze it in the duct tape all the way home to the Alabama jam. She might takes it letter like, hey, that's how we do, how we do. Fancy like, ooh. I just lost all credibility, didn't I? They play the song too much. It's in the coffee shops. It's in the grocery stores. It's in Walmart. Come on, guys, get your shit together. I need food. Hi.
I was wondering what you were going to be for Halloween, and if you aren't anything, what your kids are going to be.
Don't know, and I don't know. I think Daniil's trying to source all that this week or next week, and I'm just kind of whatever I get told to be, whatever's available, and I like to go simple. You know, like a black-eyed pea or something. Like that's. What'd you say? Peter Pan. How's that simple? That's a whole thing.
Tights.
No capes, no tights. Okay, yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure there will be a picture posted at some point. What are you gonna be?
I'm usually Harley Quinn, but I'm pregnant, so I don't know how that's going to
Why
work.
can't you just be Harley Quinn pregnant?
She shows her belly a lot, so I'm
Okay.
at that awkward...
Just put Mini Quinn on.
I'll do it.
There you go. Glad I could help. Hi.
Hi. So my husband and I are hoping to visit your brewery in Austin soon, and even though I can't drink because I'm currently a human incubator, my husband would like to know what your favorite beer is.
A lot of COVID babies coming out. A lot of locked up in the house, not much to do. I can think of something. Okay, so what was the question? Sorry.
What your favorite beer is.
So, which one from Family Business, I think is the question, right? Well, to be honest, I haven't been back to Austin in a while because just shooting and traveling and stuff. So I know that our like fall lineup has just come out, and there's a few that I haven't even tried yet. So I'm excited to get back. I'll be back there in a couple weeks, and then I'll let you know what my favorite is there. But not having tried the new ones, I gotta go with the stout right now, with the Grackle. Yeah. And don't drink that because it's like 1,000,000% alcohol. Hi.
I'm curious about the season finale of Supernatural. When COVID shut everything down, when or how soon did some of the rethinking process started from the original ending to what we got at the end and broadcast?
Nothing changed for, I would say, the like 90% of the script. The only thing that was, unfortunately, that changed was the very, very end. When Dean finds Sam on the bridge, that was not in the script. The original, and man, I wish Jared was here. You can have him, ask him his version, but it was originally supposed to be a roadhouse, and we find Sam walking up this dusty road towards a roadhouse, and from the roadhouse out walks Dean, and they meet there in the kind of dusty parking lot, and he's like, you know, and then we have our conversation that we had on the bridge. But then at the end I say, come on in, there's some folks I want you to, come on in, there's some folks sitting and waiting to see you. And we go in, and anybody that we could have gotten to fly up and be there that had from the past was gonna be in this bar, and Kansas was going to be playing. They were signed up to be there in the bar as the like the house band, playing Carry On. So that's what COVID took away from us. What?
Film it now.
Film it now? Yeah, good luck. So that was the only thing that changed, was because we couldn't get everybody up there. Nobody, you know, at that point, no one could fly up, and it was people had to do the quarantine thing, and to come up for literally one scene, it wasn't financially doable, and so we had to pivot and do a bridge scene, which I think was great. It was, you know, effective and beautiful. But it would have been fun to do that scene. And I think we were gonna shoot that at the very end, and then just turn the cameras off and kept partying right into a rap party. And just forced Kansas to continue playing. Sorry guys, you got 2 more albums up there. Little dust in the wind, please. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry. Well, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for being here, for taking time out of your busy schedule to see us. Super amazing of you. But my question's a little strange, but if I were to plug an aux cord into your brain, what song or quote or thought would play on the speaker?
At first I was like, an aux cord? It's like some, I was thinking like the animal ox. I'm like, what's an aux? Oh, an auxiliary cord. I know some of you are like, oh, is that what AUX stands for? Yeah. It's auxiliary, kids. What song did you say, or what thought?
Anything. Like, what would play on the speaker if I were to plug it right into your brain?
It would sound like this. Just white noise. You see, you know, when the TV like goes to static, they used to call that the battle of the white and black ants.
Awesome.
Look at it next time, you'll never look at it the same. It's like, oh my gosh, they're fighting. This is full-on war. It's true. That's what it looks like in here. I don't know. My son said something interesting to me the other day. The guy's 4, and he was like, Dad, music plays in my head all the time.
Awesome.
And I was like, your name is Zeppelin. It's freaking better. And I'm like, immigrant song, ramble on, what are we talking, kid?
Baby shark.
No, but he said that. He was like, there's music that always plays in my head. And I was so curious. I didn't know what to ask him next. I was like, I mean, what song? He's like, a song I heard yesterday. What song is that? And he like tries to hum it to me, and I'm like, I don't know. Is that Paw Patrol? What is that? But I just thought that was cool. He said that it happens when he tries to go to sleep. That and he's like, I just call it up and a song plays. He's like, it's like a radio in my head. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna get you tested. Make sure to steer this ship. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I share that with him. There's constantly I mean, I didn't know I knew the words to that Applebee song until just then. So the retention is scary. What else is in there? I don't know. But now I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day. So thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to stick with my first answer. It's just static. Yes.
Hi, Jensen. So I really loved the series finale. I thought it was a very fitting and beautiful end to the show. Both you and Jared have kind of touched on it a little bit in the virtual panels, but I was wondering if you could go over in detail like kind of all the things that you two added to that final episode that wasn't in the script.
I gotta remember now. It's been a year. I mean, it was a lot of it was all there. Like there wasn't a whole lot of changing. And Jared probably remembers some of this stuff better than I can. But I know that like the barn scene was we only did it a couple times because I was like, I can't do this more than a couple times. It would be an absolute wreck. I was saying earlier in the meet and greet, like some of the crew standing there, like actually had to turn around, or some of them had to leave the set because a lot of these guys have been with us for over a decade. Like they know this show and love these characters as much as we do, and it was hard for them to watch it in person. And that's when I was like, we're doing something right. It's effective. But I'd have to watch that scene again to be like, oh, that line wasn't in there, or oh, we had switched that apart, or I think I doubled up on the I need you to tell me it's okay, because I think it was written once, and I thought that it needed to be said again, and like Dean needed to hear that. He had to have that before he went. So I thought that was a pretty big moment. But there's subtleties that happen that aren't even talked about. Sometimes they just happen in that moment. In fact, I was talking to Carl Urban, who plays Butcher on The Boys. And he was saying, he's like, sometimes things happen in a scene that aren't planned, and can happen when, and in doing a show that big, there's multiple monitors, because there's multiple cameras being filmed, but you only have one set of eyes with the director. So the director could be watching the wide shot, and over here, the close-up of Carl, he might do something that was just natural and happened. And the director may have caught it out of their peripheral, but it put an idea in their head, and so then they go up to, this has happened, this is why Carl said it to me, so then they go up to Carl and they're like, hey, maybe in this, when you say this line, maybe you could do, maybe it hits you this way, and there's like maybe more of a reaction or something. And Carl, he's very savvy. He was like, yeah, no, I did that. And they're like, okay, well, maybe just do it again. He's like, why don't we watch playback? And go over, boom, playback, there it is. Director's like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. He's like, I know. So then I come up, I'm like, dude, don't be like that, just do it again. He's like, this is why I fight not to do it. Because I didn't intend to do that, to have that moment. It just happened naturally. Now, I'm made aware of that moment. And now if I do it, it'll be artificial. And that's the take that the director will be looking for, because they said it. So now they're looking for that moment, and that's usually the one that they print, and that's usually the one that they use in the cut, when it wasn't the organic one. And I'm like, all right, genius, okay. All right, where'd you learn that? And he goes, Bruce Willis. All right, fancy pants. As I'm like writing that down. He was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of went off track there. There wasn't a whole lot that needed to be switched around in that script. That script was thought about for a long time and heavily debated over and worked on very intensely, probably more than any other script in the series, except maybe the pilot. Because it was such an important one to get right. So.
Yeah, so I guess kind of referring to the fact, that Jared wanted you guys to be wearing similar pilot clothes. Was there any like non-verbal? I guess that's kind of what I was. That was
a Jared call to wear something kind of a bit of a throwback nod to the pilot outfits. I do remember one thing that changed, and this was something I had to fight for, personally. In the script, I go down, and I'm on the ground, and he picks me up, and he's like cradling me. And we have that whole scene like that, and I'm like, no. No. Dean needs to be on his feet. And I came to Bob and I was like, Bob, I don't want to do the scene like lying on my back, being cradled by my brother. I don't feel like that's strong enough. I was like, if he's gonna die, he's gonna die standing. And I just felt like that was more fitting for that character. And so I got pushback. They were like, that's gonna change all the shots, and I'm like, I'm really dead serious about this. Like, I've got to be on my feet for this. And I think just just from an image standpoint, having the two of us standing facing each other, I think just was more powerful. And you know, in all of Bob's wisdom, and I mean, I consider him a dear friend and mentor. He came up and he was like, "Good call." So that was one big thing that I fought for and got changed. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Jensen. So we all know Dean is the meat man, and Dean also loves his pies. But which one does he like better, fruit pies or meat pies?
I mean, it's hard to deny the fact that a meat pie is the best of both worlds. You got your meat in a pie. Meat pie. And the good thing is like, that's kind of like a meal, right? Well, what comes after a meal? Pie. Set them up. Meat pie, fruit pie, done, I'm out. You realize that Jensen, cannot eat pie anymore without, like, a smirk on my face. Can't do it. Cannot do it. I see pie, and I'm like, I know who would like this. He single-handedly changed my relationship with pie. Forever. So, yay. Hi.
I just want to thank you for that little dance you did for us. That was amazing.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
Do it again.
But I wanted to ask,
Just press replay on your phone. Sorry, what?
I just wanted to know if you had any paranormal experiences while you were filming the show, or if you had any like weird dreams while you were filming the show because of all the content.
No. Nope.
How about a paranormal experience ever?
Certainly not one since I started playing Dean Winchester, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think that if the paranormal and the supernatural does live in our world and exist with us unseen, that a person who played a hunter of them for 15 years is probably not their target demographic. No, I know that, the people that play doctors on TV aren't going to go into the surgery room, but I'd at least know that I was in some knowledgeable hands if they were the only doctor on the plane, because they have actual nurse and technicians showing them exactly what to do and how to do it and what to say and how to say it and why you say it. So they're getting medical training on the job. I've been trained in ghost warfare for 15 years. I have no problems sleeping in a haunted hotel.
Really?
Which I think I am right now. Not kidding, in Santa Fe. Oh, wow. They're like, you know this hotel is haunted. And I'm like, yeah, they don't mess with me.
Thank you.
I'm good. Hi.
Hi. First of all, I love you. Very, very much so.
Love you too.
You have helped get so much stuff through the last year. My question for you was, with radio company, I've got the album, I've got all kinds of stuff. Are you looking at possibly doing some covers? And the reason I ask is because when me and my husband got married last year, I wanted to use Tennessee Whiskey, but with you singing it, as our first dance. But I could not find a version anywhere that was not live. And I would love to be able to have a copy of that, and those and any other covers that you might consider recording. And my husband told me to tell you your beer is awesome when we went to the brewery.
Well, we have no plans of doing any kind of cover stuff, but I will say that if I was to ever do record covers, trying to do Chris Stapleton is just suicide. Like, you just don't touch him. Like, that's, like, I don't know. I'm sorry, that guy's incredible. It would have to be a completely, wildly different version, but yeah, you can't try to imitate that guy. He's too good. But that's, there's that's certainly a possibility of that, but I don't have any plans to do that anytime soon. I gotta get off my horse first. I gotta tell you about this real quick. I told a few people in the VIP. So for the Western, all the actors go to the ranch to pick out our horse, right? So they also want to see what your riding level is. Some of us have some experience, others did not. So they put everybody on this one horse, Cowboy. Cowboy's just like, he's an old trail horse, so they just, get on and they're like, okay, all right. And then they're like, okay, you feel pretty good? I'm like, yeah, Cowboy, he's a little slow. He's, he's like, yeah, he's old. No, he's like the kid's horse. Like, I'm ready for an upgrade. So then I get on Texas. I'm like, oh, I like the sound of that. All right. So I get on Texas and start running around and doing some tricks, and I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, you feeling pretty good? I'm like, yeah. He's like, we're gonna put you on something a little better. It's like, okay, great. I'm like, here's Kevin. Cowboy, Texas, Kevin. So I get on Kevin. Kevin's a good horse. He's a solid horse. But then I look off in the distance and I'm like, what's that big black horse over there? Solid black, beauty, looked like Black Beauty. Just gorgeous. I'm like, who's that? And the wrangler goes, that's Baby. Sorry, Kevin. Yep. Baby's coming with me. And then the wrangler goes, no, BB. I don't care for this project, that's Baby. He's black and he's Baby now. Will he respond to Baby? I don't know, probably, it's close enough. Well, that's what I'm calling him. So I ride Baby, and I'm just gonna refer to him as Baby, because that's, right? And he's good. We're going full steam up the hill, down the hill, doing sliding stops, and I'm starting to feel really comfortable. And so I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is no-brainer. So we show up day one of principal photography, and the scene where I'm on the horse and I come over this ridge and I'm headed down towards an old cabin, and I get there on the day and I see them loading BB up into the trailer. I'm like, well, we're about to shoot. Where's he going? They're like, he's limping today. I'm like, no. Well, we're about to shoot a scene, and he's my horse for the whole movie. This is day one. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to put you on a different horse. And I'm like, well, and right about that time, this giant, 16.5 hand horse comes around the horse trailer. Just this beautiful, huge quarter horse. And they're like, we got the biggest horse for you. And I was like, oh. What's this one's name? Spam. spanky. I'm like, okay, as long as it wasn't Sam, then we would have been... That would have been too close. This is always mean old Spanky. Yeah. Thought I'd share that with you guys. I don't know, was I supposed to answer a question? Kevin. Hi.
Hi. My question for you is, how do you think Dean would have reacted if Jack's character was a girl and not a boy?
The same? Do we even know what Jack identifies as? I don't know that we had that discussion. Yeah, I don't think anything would have changed.
I like it.
Yeah, I can't think of a storyline point that would have been affected by gender, which it shouldn't. I mean, Dean might have had some extra glances at him had he been a her. But that's Dean's problem. So, there you go. Thank you. Good question. Hi.
Hi, Jensen. I just need to tell you that I absolutely love you. So much so that I have your name tattooed on me.
Oh, okay.
Just had to tell you that.
This is like some Nexium stuff here. It's like, like Brit, too soon? Too soon. Okay. Love you too.
If you could have played any other character besides Dean in Supernatural, who would you have played and why?
Oh, you know, I've had this question before, and I think I've said John, but I'm gonna mix it up, and I think Benny had a really cool storyline. And I think he was also just a real pivotal character in like the development of Dean, not just being so black and white. That there is gray area. You can't find a monster that is trying to be good, and maybe they are worth saving or partnering up with. So I felt like that was a really interesting story, and I would have wanted that storyline to continue as long as possible. It was one of the reasons why I called Ty and had him come in and be in that that beginning sequence of Atomic Monster, the episode I directed. He wasn't in the script at all. I just thought that would be, I don't know. I was just like, what if?
It worked.
And Ty happened to be available, and he's like, yeah, man. He was filming something. He flew to Vancouver, did one day on the set, and then flew back to, I think he was shooting in Calgary. So I was very thankful that he did that, because I think that aside from Dean and Sam and Cass, I think that there was a brotherly relationship there that I felt never really got explored enough. So, yeah, Benny.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
My question for you is, what's your favorite style or brand of boot?
Boots? As in like boots? I think I've got some, Lou Cheesies on right now. Lou Casey's, they're called. I actually just got a new pair in Santa Fe. There's a place there called Back at the Ranch, and they make custom boots, but they're made in Texas. But they sell them there. So we'll see, I gotta break those in, but until then I'm wearing my old faithfuls here. So Lou Casey's, I think, are solid, yeah. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so my question is, if Dean had opened the door in episode 1519 where it was actually Lucifer, but it had been Cass instead, how do you think Dean would have reacted?
Wait, what?
When Cass called Dean on the phone, but it was really Lucifer, and
Yes.
Dean runs
Oh,
up
yes.
the stairs,
And-
but it's Lucifer.
and
How
Lucifer's
do you
standing
think Dean would have reacted if it had been Cass instead of Lucifer?
Well, I think we kind of got a glimpse of that with how quickly, you know, they ran up they got up the stairs, and he was, you know, he like, that was a really hard scene. Man, it was really hard keeping that a secret too. Like that scene with Misha and I, the goodbye to Cass. Yeah, I mean, he had just lost, you know, his best friend, and having to deal with that, and then all of a sudden, in the world of Supernatural, that could be possible. He could be at the door. So I think it would have been a huge embrace. Yeah. Hey.
I just want to know what's your favorite part of playing a superhero?
Not the outfit. Not the outfit. And look, LJ, who is the superhero outfit designer, is lovely and an incredible talent. And I can't say enough about her. But those things they're not built for spending 12 to 14 hours a day in the heat, sweating, and also trying to do stunts. And I had layers upon layers. So mine was like this, you know, basically a bodysuit, right? But then on top of that, I had this giant tactical vest with all these decals on them. And then I had like forearm armor and gloves and knee pads and giant boots. And fun fact for you, the boots I wore as Soldier Boy are the same boots that Dean wore for 15 years. They sent over like about 5 or 6 different pair, because this was during COVID, so I couldn't go for a costume. They'd sent stuff to my house, and I literally Zoomed them and tried stuff on. But there was like 6 different sets of boots, and I saw the Carolinas there, and I was like, well, I can tell you which ones work. And so she was like, great, love it. So we did that. I had there's like a scarf, and I'm like I'm doing all these fittings, and I'm having to actually, for the actual fitting, I had to fly to LA 6 times, because each time they have to try on the progress of what they're building, and they have to make adjustments as they continue building this outfit. So 6 different trips to LA for this. And then, what? Yeah, it is insane. And during COVID. Once it got done, you know, this was when the show was supposed to start. I thought it'd be Jared. What you doing, pal?
I was just backstage.
Have you come to tell me to speed it up here, kid?
No, I just wanted to make a comment on your commentary here. I was just backstage, and you were like, "Yeah, man, this superhero costume that I have to wear. They keep flying me in and out of Los Angeles to get it perfect, so that my pecs are properly displayed. And I just wanted to let you know that that's not everyone's experience. I have a similar story though, and it's not like exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. My daughter recently tried to dress me up as a butterfly. So I know what you're talking about. I kind of get it.
Did it take her 6 times to get it right?
No, she got it right the first time.
Oh, that's bonus.
Yeah.
Funny story. I don't think I told you this. When during the fittings, they're building this costume on me. I said, you're gonna build some big muscles into the costume, right? Because
you did tell me.
Because I know that, and this is no secret, that Anthony Homelander's suit is quite muscly and built out, and
in all the right places.
And so I was like, and there's some built out things on some of the other characters too. So I was like, oh, well, you can give me some superhero muscles, right? And she looked at me, and no kidding, she goes, "You're gonna bring me those when you show up." And that's when I called my doctor and said, "Steroids. Where are we with that?" No.
No, in all seriousness, I took
that as like a personal challenge.
Like months and months ago, and you're like, "Oh, she's calling me a skinny wimp?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn I will learn to do a push-up.
Yeah. And I took that very seriously, and I also was like, it's lockdown, it's COVID, there's nothing, like I have no excuses not to train hard for this.
So this is not everyone's experience of the pandemic also. Jensen and I hugged each other last night, and I was like, Jesus, what the fuck is this? And Jensen was like, oh,
it's so soft. He's like an angel plushie.
I shouldn't have come out here. I actually don't know why I'm out here.
Well, where's the seat, man? Grab a seat. Or I can just stand. I'm gonna stand. Here.
Get your hand off me. I have missed you, and I've missed all of you guys. Like, it's so, I just so you know, backstage in the bowels of this hotel, everyone is just hugging each other and so happy to see each other, and we're all so damn happy to be back, and that's not hyperbole. There have been times in the past when we've showed up at conventions and been like, ugh, this again? And that is not our experience. Like, we are so, so happy to be back. Really.
I remember when it looked like Orlando was going to be the first one back a few months ago before numbers went crazy and stuff happened, and we were all messaging each other, going, "Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? This is going to be so great!" And then that got pushed. So this has been a highly anticipated thing, and we have certainly been chomping at the bit to get back and to see all of you and to share this energy. It is something that that I know I truly enjoy, and I was kind of, who's I telling? I was kind of looking forward to the show being done and then being able to do these, like really kind of lean into these and like settle in, and maybe without having like, oh, I got a 6 a.m. call on Monday morning, I got to get back to, I got to knock this out, I got to learn my lines, there's just a lot of stuff. So I was really looking forward to like just being able to lean into this and like hang out with you guys and talk about the show and talk about the finale and what's happening, and then COVID happened and took it all away from us. So anyway, I know it's not totally gone, which is why we're got these protocols, which thank you guys for putting up with. It's real quick. The reason that we're doing this is A, first health and safety, but B, honestly, Jared comes here and gets it, doesn't get sick, but just has it, and then goes back Monday and tests. Boom, that entire show is shutting down. And same with me on the movie. If I go back tomorrow and somehow, some way, I brought it, even though I'm maybe not sick, because I'm thrice vaxxed. Still, it would shut production down. And that would mean a lot of people not getting a paycheck. And so we're just trying to be as safe, but also as considerate as possible to the people that aren't here, as well as the people that are here. So thank you for that.
Well said. This is interesting. This is interesting. So, Misha, are you next?
Yeah, I am next.
Okay, so maybe what we should do.
This is super awkward.
Yeah.
How do we manage
How do we do this?
This is not how
If only we had a host. Oh, that's my job.
Where is the transition happening?
Man, I miss Rich. It's the first time I've ever seen you spike a mic. Yeah.
I broke it. Okay, this is what. Thank you. This is what's happening now. That's going to be a goodbye to Jensen Ackles. And then, so you're going to come back later with Jared, right? All right, so we're saying goodbye for now to Mr. Jensen Ackles.
Yeah.